Nobody tells you that growth feels wrong before it feels right. They show you the result, the transformation, the person standing on the other side of the work, looking certain and looking put together. And somewhere between watching that and living your own life, you start wondering why your version of growth feels nothing like that. Why it feels awkward, off balance, like you don't fully belong in the new space. You don't belong there yet, but you can't go back to the old one either. Like you're standing in a doorway and someone keeps moving the room on both sides. Here's what nobody in that highlight reel told you. That feeling isn't a warning sign. That feeling is the whole process. If it felt comfortable, it wouldn't be growth. It would just be more of the same thing with a different name on it. I'm Chief. Welcome to Chief Logic. The codes. We're on code 8. Growth is supposed to feel uncomfortable. There's a space that exists between who you were and who you're becoming. It doesn't have a clean name. Nobody posts about it because it doesn't photograph well. But every person who has ever genuinely changed has lived in it. Sometimes for months, sometimes longer, and almost always in silence. It's the space where your old habits don't satisfy you anymore, but your new ones aren't automatic yet, where the old circle feels too small, but the new one isn't fully built, where you know exactly what you're moving away from and only have a rough outline of what you're moving toward. What you do in that space determines everything, whether you push through the discomfort and come out on the other side as something new, or whether you retreat back to the familiar, because familiar, even when it's deflating you, at least feels like something you already know how to survive. Most people choose to retreat. They choose to go back. Not because they're weak, because nobody prepared them for how strange the in-between was going to feel. They thought discomfort meant they were doing something wrong. Nobody told them it meant they were doing something real. The new version of you is going to feel like a bad fit at first, not because it's wrong, because it's new. And new things require a breaking in period that nobody in the highlight reel ever mentions. Think about the first time you did anything that actually mattered. The first time you had a hard conversation you used to avoid. The first time you held a boundary with someone who was used to you folding. The first time you chose yourself in a situation where everyone expected you to back down. It felt wrong. It felt like you were being someone you weren't supposed to be. But you weren't being someone you weren't supposed to be. You were being someone you hadn't been allowed to be yet. That discomfort wasn't a red flag. That was the feeling of your edges expanding. That was growth doing exactly what growth is supposed to do. If the new version of you felt easy, it wouldn't be new. Most people use comfort as their navigation system. If something feels good, they move toward it. If something feels off, they pull back. That system makes sense for safety. It keeps you from touching hot things and walking into traffic. But it's a terrible system for growth because growth almost never feels good in the moment it's happening. Comfort is a signal that you're in a familiar territory. And familiar territory by definition is where you've already been. It can't take you somewhere new because it's built entirely out of the past. The person who only moves when it feels comfortable is a person whose life has an invisible ceiling they never examine. They wonder why things never really change, why the same patterns keep showing up in different situations, why every new year starts with intention and ends in the same place as the last one. The answer is the compass. They're navigating by comfort in a direction that only leads back to what they already know. The chief logic shifts the compass. Stop asking, does this feel comfortable? And start asking, does this feel like the direction I said I was going? Those two questions point at completely different destinations, and only one of them has any chance of getting you somewhere you've never been. Comfort isn't the goal. It's actually the trap. And it's a well-designed trap because it doesn't feel like a trap. It feels like rest. It feels like peace. It feels like you finally found a rhythm that works. But there's a difference between the peace that comes from genuine alignment and the comfort that comes from stopping before you have arrived or have reached your goal. One is earned. The other is a settlement you made with yourself when the discomfort of growth got louder than your commitment to change. Check your comfort. Ask yourself honestly whether what you're protecting is actually peace or just avoidance that learned how to sit still. Real peace expands as you do. Anything that requires you to stay at the same level to maintain it was never peace. It was just a ceiling you got used to calling home. Here's the part of growth that hits differently when you're actually in it. The people around you aren't always going to understand what you're becoming. They're not bad people. It's because they built their relationship with you around a version of you that's no longer the current version. They have expectations, patterns, and a whole dynamic that was calibrated to who you were. When you start changing, that calibration gets disrupted. Some people will celebrate it. Those are your people, and you will know them quickly because they make the expansion feel safe. But others will resist it, quietly or openly. They'll make comments designed to pull you back into the old you. They'll reference who you used to be, as if that's still the most accurate version of you. They'll be uncomfortable with your discomfort because your growth is holding up a mirror they didn't ask to look at. Here's what Code 8 needs you to understand about that. Their resistance isn't evidence that you're wrong, it's evidence that you're changing. Those are two completely different things, and confusing them is one of the most common reasons people abandon growth that was actually working. The room getting uncomfortable around you isn't always a sign that you're out of place. Sometimes it's a sign that you've outgrown the room. Not everyone is going to be comfortable with the new version of you. That's information, not a problem that needs to be solved. When you change, the people who were invested in the old version will feel that shift before you even announce it. Your energy changes, your responses change. What you tolerate changes. What you're willing to participate in changes. And some people in your life are going to read that as rejection, as if you're better than where you come from. Don't defend the growth. Don't explain the evolution to people who aren't asking in good faith. Don't fall back into a shape that no longer fits just to make a room comfortable. The people meant to be in your next chapter will recognize the new version of you and meet it with respect. Let everyone else be confused. Their confusion isn't yours to resolve. So how do you actually navigate the in-between without retreating? First, name it. Stop calling the discomfort of growth a problem and start calling it what it is. Proof. Proof that something real is happening. The moment you refrain from the feeling, it loses some of its power over your decisions. You're not falling apart, you're transitioning. Those two things require completely different responses. Second, stay in motion. The worst thing you can do in the in-between is stop and wait for it to feel better before you continue. It doesn't get more comfortable by standing still. It gets more comfortable by moving through it consistently until the new behaviors become familiar and the new identity starts to feel like yours. Third, lower the audience. Growth done in public, constantly narrated and defended, is growth that's vulnerable to other people's opinions at the exact moment when it's most fragile. Do the work privately. Let the results speak publicly. You don't have to announce the beginning. You can just become. And fourth, trust the decision and trust the direction over the feeling. Feelings are real, but they're not reliable navigation in a transition. Your commitment to the direction you chose has to be stronger than your reaction to how the journey feels on any given day. The awkward is temporary. What is building is not. You're not going to feel ready. Not for the conversation, not for the decision, not for the version of yourself this next chapter requires. Readiness is a feeling, and feelings follow action. They don't precede it. You don't feel ready and then move. You move, and then somewhere in the middle of the motion, you realize you were more ready than you thought. The awkward feelings at the start, usually at the start of something new, isn't your mind telling you to stop. It's your system adjusting to an altitude it hasn't been at before. Give it time. Give it motion. Give it your consistency instead of your doubt. The new version of you isn't waiting for you to feel ready. It's waiting for you to show up anyway. Code 8 is the one most people need to hear in the middle of a season they're not sure about. The season where things feel off, but nothing is technically wrong. Where you're doing the work, but the results aren't visible yet. Where the people around you aren't fully seeing where you're moving toward, and you're not sure enough yourself to explain it convincingly. That season isn't a detour. That's the process itself. Growth isn't a highlight. It's a series of uncomfortable, ordinary days where you chose the direction over the feeling, where you stayed in motion when standing still would have been easier, where you trusted something in you that hadn't been proven yet to anyone watching. That's what building looks like from the inside. It's awkward, uncertain, but necessary. If the new version of you felt easy, it wouldn't be new. If you're in that season right now and you want something to do a deeper work with, my book is on Amazon and Kindle. Chief Logic, 50 quotes for a life of purpose and power. 50 quotes, final thoughts, and journal prompts built for exactly this kind of internal work. The work that happens away from the audience. The work that actually changes you. Link is in the description. Go get it. Here's your journal prompt for Code 8. Write about a moment in your life when something that felt wrong turned out to be the beginning of something right. What did that discomfort teach you about yourself? And what's one area right now where you might be retreating from growth because it doesn't feel comfortable yet? Write it down. Be honest with yourself. That honesty is where the next level starts. Think on that. Stay sharp. Stay grounded.